Hi everyone, welcome to Bea Yoga. I'm Beatrice. Today I'm going to guide you through a yin practice dedicated to presence. So we'll start the practice without too much talking, straight into child's pose. All you need is maybe a block and possibly a bolster. If you don't have any of that, you can still practice, you don't need it. So coming down onto your child's pose to start with, I have my phone here so I can really focus on having the whole practice timed. So as you come down to your mat, bring the big toes together, knees as wide as you can, as wide as your mat, but not wider than that. And when you're ready, start to walk the hands forward, come down into the first posture of the day. Relax your head down. If your head doesn't reach the ground or it causes any tension, you're always welcome to pop a block underneath or maybe even a bolster right under your chest and your head. So really adjust the pose for what serves you. And as you come to the practice today, find a resolve to being present, to being in the here and now. Just using our yoga practice to really focus on the moment. Taking deep conscious breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Allowing our body to soften and our mind to soften as well. Why not? So I'll try not to talk too much through this practice as I try in yin in general. So you can really allow this space of presence and silence for yourself. As you inhale, gently bring yourself up to hands and knees. The next few postures can be quite challenging, so I put them in the practice just because challenging ourselves really brings us in the present moment. So coming to bring up knees parallel to each other, have a block with you so you can adjust the stance and the height for yourself. So we're first coming into dragon pose on the right side. So step your right leg to the outside of the hands. So it's like a lizard pose in a hatha practice, but in yin it's called dragon. So adjust your back knee so that you're not directly on the kneecap, but you're on the higher part of your knee, almost on the bottom of your thigh. The right foot can be either flat on the ground or maybe on the outer edge, letting the knee go out to the side. And you can stay up on the block. Let your hips soften towards the ground. Or if this is not enough, you can come down to lower height of the block, maybe down to the hands. Always option to come down deeper onto the forearms, so bending into the elbows and coming down. But be mindful that you don't want to feel pain, you don't want to force the posture. You want to come to a place of sensation but not pain, where hopefully you'll be able to hold in stillness for about another couple of minutes. Soften your hips here, soften your glutes. Take one more breath. As you inhale, start to come up onto the hands if you're on the forearms. If you're on the block, remove the block. Bring the sole of the foot flat on the ground. And from here, we're transitioning to swan pose on this side. So bring the right foot to the left side at the back of your hand. And then drop the knee out to the right. Slide the left leg down. And it doesn't matter if the front shin is not parallel to the mat, but keep the hips squared so you're not sitting onto the right hip. If that helps, you can always bring a block underneath your right hip. And you can either stay upright or start to fold forward into sleeping swan. And here as well, soften into the hips. Observe your mind and your thoughts. Observe your body. And then see if you can find stillness. And always notice the sides of the body and the differences. As you inhale, start to walk yourself back up. Tuck your back toe, bend the back knee, come off that right hip, and then send that right leg back. You can lengthen the leg completely back, tuck your toes and rock forwards and backwards. Or if downward dog is already in your practice, start to bring yourself up into a downward dog for just a breath to counter pose. And from here, bringing yourself back up, back down to your hands and knees. And this time, stepping the left leg forward to the outside of the hands. Come into dragon on this side. Scooping the right knee down, so you're not directly on the kneecap. And either bringing a block to the inside of the foot, or coming down onto your hands or forearms. Maybe placing the foot to the outer edge. Finding stillness on this side. And noticing if this side feels a bit more challenging or a bit less. Informing yourselves to how your body is feeling, where your body's at today. Another day might be different. Inhale to come back up onto your hands if you are on your forearms, or come out of the block. Bring the foot flat on the ground, and then come into swan pose on this side, walking the left foot to the right, and dropping the knee down behind your right hand, behind your left hand, scooping the right leg farther back. And again, don't worry about the parallel shin, doesn't matter. Just try not to sit onto your left hip, so square the hips to the ground. Stay here or start to walk the hands forward to come down into sleeping swan. And notice in every posture where your mind goes. And when possible, bring it back to the present moment. It might go to the past or the future, plans or events in the past. Just bring it back to the breath. Maybe feel the movement of your abdomen on the legs. The expansion on the inhale and the contraction on the exhale. Trying to keep the attention on the breath for as long as possible. Or attention on sensations. Inhale. And start to bring yourself back up out of swan pose. Unwinding by bending the back knee and lengthening the left leg back. Or coming up into downward facing dog for a breath. And then bringing yourself back down onto your hands and knees and onto your back. So gently coming down to your back, finding yourselves around the middle of your mat. And from here, bringing our right thigh over the left. So it's really thigh to thigh. We're not on a figure four, but in reclined shoelace. And from here, either staying here, or if you don't feel enough sensation through the sides of your thighs, bring the knee in closer to the chest. If this is still not enough, holding on to the back of your thighs, but always being mindful to keep the head and the shoulders relaxed and down on the mat. And keeping the shins parallel to the ground, not letting the feet fall. Or you can also hold on to the feet, but keeping the back down on the ground. Release the feet if you're holding into the feet, or if you're holding the back of your thighs, release the thighs. And then lengthen your right arm out, start to bring the knees down to the left. Coming into a twist. You can leave the left hand either on the ground, on your tummy, maybe on your legs, or wherever is comfortable. Trying to keep the right shoulder on the ground. So we're really twisting through our lower and mid back. Breathe in to bring the knees back to center. And as you get there, uncross the legs and come to the other side. So this time, recline shoelace by bringing the left thigh on top of the right. And either staying here or bringing the knees into the chest, maybe holding onto the back of your thighs, being mindful of keeping the shoulders and head relaxed. Maybe holding opposite foot. But being mindful of keeping the back down on the ground. This posture can be quite challenging as well, so really observing anything that might be going on. Sensations in the body, sensations in the mind, thoughts, judgments. Trying not to judge ourselves, but just observing. There's no good and bad. There is no should have. There's no way you should do it. It's the way your body needs to do it. So welcome that. Welcome the way you're feeling now. Welcome the place you are at now. Releasing the grip of the feet or the grip of the back of the thighs. And as you lengthen the left arm out, bring the knees to the right. Always releasing that right arm wherever feels comfortable, either on the thighs, along the thigh, maybe on your belly, coming back to that presence and that focus on the breath. Inhale to bring the knees back to center. And coming down to Shavasana, our final resting pose. Bring the feet wide, the arms wide. Palms face up to the ceiling so you can really let the shoulders fall away from the ears and relax on the ground. You can stay here if you feel confident that you can focus on your breath without any tactile experience, or bring the right hand to the upper abdomen, left hand on the chest. And start to bring your focused attention to the movement of your breath. As you inhale, notice the gentle expansion of your body, the space it creates. As you exhale, empty the lungs completely, return to the beginning. Inhale, feel the breath, feel the lungs with air. Exhale, empty completely. Take a few more deep, concentrated breaths. And as always, I like to close my yin practice with a quote. So stay here in Shavasana as I read for you. This quote is by Eckhart Tolle, which I'm sure a lot of you will know. Realize deeply that the present moment is all you have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. Realize deeply that the present moment is all you have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as your body, mind and soul need to. But if you want to come out and close this practice with me, start to roll onto your left side. And then gently bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Ground your sitting bones down and reach up for the sky as you inhale. Exhale to bring the palms together and down at the heart. And bowing down to seal our practice. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope this was a great time for yourself, out of your day and into presence. I hope to see you soon in one of my next videos.